Hey everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and we're back again with some more of our customers' custom creations. Today we're going to be looking at a bunch of special pieces that our customers have spec'd out and then we custom made, and that's including this brand new brown cypress leather. We also have some color combinations. We have several different snap wallets, a bunch of different wallets in the raw natural shell cordovan. We've got some wallets that we don't normally offer, like this vertical card slot Frank the Enforcer. And then of course we also have some really interesting and beautiful shell cordovan pieces to look at. I wanted to start off first here with this Fat Herbie. Now this was not custom made. This is actually a wallet that my brother Matt has been wearing. I spotted it in the shop this morning and was really blown away with how nice this leather looks. Now this is the brown cypress leather on the Fat Herbie, and Matt has it super stuffed with a bunch of business cards inside of there. So you get this sort of molded effect of those cards on the outside of the wallet. I love how smooth and flat and shiny that the leather has developed just with normal use in this pocket. And I thought it'd be valuable for me to show you just how nicely this cypress has worn in and show it next to an unworn piece here. You can see the color is also a little bit darker to start. And as it's worn, my suspicion is that the waxes are starting to blend in a little bit more, and we're revealing some of the lighter undertones of that brown cypress. So starting off with the custom items here, this is a Fat Herbie in the brown cypress. We've got some hidden card slots on the inside, and we also have left this right side interior piece unstitched to have this large flap on the interior. You can hold some documents behind there. We have another brown cypress piece. This is on our brand new Joe Batters wallet. This is sort of like a Capone money clip, but instead of having the money clip, we have a bill slot. Up next is a Tony the Ant with a cool color combination. And I suppose before we continue further along the custom items here, if you're looking to have a wallet custom made, maybe it's a color combination with the royal blue cypress and English tan Dublin on the inside, you can just send us an email to info@ashlandleather.com. Let us know what you're looking for, and maybe we can make it happen. If we have the leather available, we can turn these around in about 4 to 6 weeks. So Tony the Ant here, royal blue cypress, again, that brand new leather from Horween. It's got a really hard wax finish that's applied to the grain. So it's a very resilient leather. And I think it's paired perfectly with the English tan Dublin. Now this Tony the Ant here has a different orientation for the card slots. We call this the vertical card slots for this Tony the Ant. And up next is another custom Herbie. This time it's the slate vintage on the outside, sitting on top of royal blue cypress. This one is also hand stitched. We do have several hand stitched wallets in the batch today. This is a red hand stitching along the outside. I only suggest the hand stitching if you love a bold, chunky thread look. On the interior here, we can see the reverse side of the royal blue cypress in the center. And on top of that royal blue, we have some more of the slate vintage with an additional hidden card slot on the right. Up next is another color combination wallet. This time it's a little bit more like an inverse. We've got English tan Dublin on top of royal blue cypress for the outside of this Fat Herbie. On the interior, we've got hidden card slots, but these hidden card slots are made in the 1940s calfskin, which is kind of a similar color to the English tan Dublin. It's a little bit of a thinner leather and a little bit more of like a golden blonde color. And here's another Fat Herbie yet again in royal blue cypress. Really love the depth of color in the royal blue. It's a little bit more of like an aqua blue for the undertones, and then the surface color is a little bit darker blue, but it's a very nice depth of color between those two shades. And one more Herbie to show you again in royal blue cypress. You can see royal blue cypress all through the outside, matching stitching, matching hand stained edge, and then the inside we have hidden card slots with some additional royal blue cypress. Hopefully you're not bored of royal blue cypress, because we have 2 more matching passport field notes holders to show you again in the royal blue cypress. It's my understanding that the customers here have requested matching passport holders. It's for a husband and wife, is my understanding about it. The difference on this wallet, you notice that there's no stitching on the left side, so we're planning to hold some documents as well as the passports on the inside of both of these passport field notes holders. I mentioned we have some hand stitched wallets in the video today. Let's go through those next. Another one here with red hand stitching. This time it is black shell cordovan on a top of what appears to be garnet shell cordovan. That's the most red color of shell cordovan that Horween makes. And I should mention, I haven't looked at any of these before. We're starting to go through them here in the video together. On the inside, it looks like we've got a color combination here of black with ultraviolet and sort of inverted on the left and right. Here's another one with hand stitching that is an absolute stunner. This is black Dublin on the outside of this Fat Herbie with an orange hand stitching. You'll notice that orange stitching is very prominent, again, because it's that thicker, more bold and chunky thread that is only achieved through the process of hand stitching. It's actually just a little bit too thick to fit through the sewing machine, so we can only apply it with hand stitching. The notable thing about this Fat Herbie is it's very, very beautiful, very intense grain character on this black Dublin. You might be able to see some of the figuring on the outside here. Here's another hand stitched wallet. This time it is on a Vic snap wallet in natural chrome excel, and it's kind of nice to see some natural chrome excel wallets. We don't offer these as a standard item in anything other than our our valet trays and our Apple Watch bands. So it's really cool to see a hand-stitched natural Chrome Excel Vic snap wallet here. There's no card holder on the back, just an open compartment in the center that will fit cards, coins, and cash. Up next is a vertical card slot, Frank the Enforcer. Now we've only done these as made to order and private stock items. So it seems like people are enjoying the look of this guy. And I think we've only made about 5 of them. On the front here, we've got the vertical card slots, and then there's a hidden card slot underneath those two. This one has a larger section in the center. Now, this larger section will fit folded cash inside of it. And in the back, we've got 2 card holders like our normal Frank the Enforcer with the Horween Shell cordovan hot stamp. And again, this one is hand stitched with a cream colored thread. Now let's have a look at some of our snap wallets that people have custom ordered. Some really creative customers, by the way. It's really beautiful stuff in here. This first one here is our machine gun jack. Now this is made with a symmetrical piece of leather, just one long piece that is stitched together on the left and right side. This is designed to hold credit cards on the inside. You can only fit cash inside of this guy if you fold it into thirds. Up next is another snap wallet from us. This is a Vic snap wallet in all reverse color 8 shell cordovan. Looks like we got a great Horween Shell cordovan ink stamp on this guy with some also very interesting die splatter. And up next is another snap wallet, the Vic snap wallet here in black shell cordovan. Now here's some truly unique pieces. I believe this is marbled violet shell cordovan, and I have not seen much of this leather ever get produced from Horween. I'd like to spend a second to spin it around so you can see the range of color here. Very vibrant and vivid of an orange undertone with more of a vivid purple on top of it at certain angles. But as I spin it, it becomes a little bit more muted. It's kind of interesting, a little bit darker at this angle. Really cool marbled violet here. I, again, haven't seen much of this and I'm really digging it. On the inside of this one, we have more marbled violet shell cordovan. Now you might notice that this traveler passport design here is exactly what this is, except there's no bill slot on the outside. And then we have not stitched together the card holder on the left. And here's a huge piece of blue shell cordovan. Check this long wallet out. Really beautiful piece of blue shell cordovan. I'm not sure if this is denim blue or intense blue. It's probably more like the intense blue. The intense blue is a little bit darker than the denim blue shell. You can see we have a matching blue stitching on this guy, personalized for JTP. Thank you so much, JTP. We also have a hand-stained blue edge on this long wallet, and then the interior, more shell cordovan. Just tons of shell in this wallet. It's actually pretty heavy, which is surprising. Just the density of this leather altogether in a long wallet like this is really great. Let's slide in some more wallets. We have another vertical card slot, Frank the Enforcer. Now this is a piece that, again, we don't offer. And it seems like our customers are becoming very creative. So we've got the vertical card slot Frank on the front, but somebody's also requested that it's get reproduced on the back. So it's a 2-sided vertical Frank the Enforcer. This is in black shell cordovan. It looks like we got some epic black on the front here with some extra figuring and striations in that shell. Nice black hand-stained edge on this piece. And then the center, this is reverse black shell cordovan, which is a little bit more of a green shade. And next up, I actually did peek at this one. This is a really nice Tony the Ant and a remarkable piece of green shell cordovan. And I'm unsure if this is green shell or if it is the emerald green shell. They're kind of similar. There's also dark green shell that exists. I was noticing that the vibrance of color in this piece of shell was a little bit more vibrant than the dark green that I normally see. This Tony the Ant is also personalized for AR view. You got a beautiful piece here with hand-stained green edges and then more green shell cordovan on the inside. I almost forgot to get to all these raw natural pieces. And if you're looking for patina, I can't suggest the raw natural shell cordovan enough. The raw natural will give you the most potential to develop a dramatic patina. So we're going to start off here with a custom bugs raw natural shell on the outside, natural waxed and burnished edges. And let's take a look at the inside here. We have more raw natural shell cordovan. You'll notice there's only 3 card slots on this. I think this is the first time I've seen one like this. We have our normal traditional card layout on the right side, but only the larger card slot on the left, which is pretty neat. Here's another raw natural shell cordovan piece. This time it is on the Joe Batters. We did a pre-order on these, so I think most of those have gone out at this point. Up next is another Vic snap wallet in the raw natural shell cordovan. And here's a Bugs Moran also in the raw natural shell cordovan. You'll notice there is a directionality of color in the shell. So some angles it's a little bit lighter, some angles it's a little bit darker. And on the inside of this one, I noticed we've changed the stamp to the what we call the baby Ashland stamp, where we omit the A circle logo. So now this is not raw natural shell cordovan, but this is raw denim shell cordovan. So it has a different color, of course, but it is similar to the raw natural in the way that it has not been polished. So you can see it starts off with a nice subtle sheen to it. There is a little bit of life there, but as this is worn, it becomes more glassy, more bright and shiny just with normal use. This one here is for WQ, and thank you so much, WQ. We've got a nice natural waxed and burnished edge on this one, which I think frames out the raw denim shell cordovan very nicely. And we have raw denim on the inside too. This is a total stunner right here. Now here's a fun one to see. Tall Tony the Ant. I believe this is marbled cigar shell cordovan on the exterior. And there is a very nice range of color in this marbled cigar. This one is also hand stitched. I probably should have put this together with all the hand stitched wallets. Here's a look at the inside. We've got vertical card slots on the inside. This is raw natural shell cordovan. And there's tons of great stuff in the made to order video today. Really great custom pieces, including this Tony the Ant here, reverse shell cordovan to feature the Horween shell cordovan ink stamp on the outside, and the interior here. It looks like this is cigar shell cordovan, or like a really dark color 8. I think that's cigar shell. Up next is another Tony the Ant. This time it has epic splatter on the reverse side of black shell cordovan for the interior. That's a really beautiful interior for this Tony the Ant. On the outside, we've got black shell cordovan sitting on top of marbled black shell cordovan. Here's another Tony the Ant with a fun color combination. We've got blue shell cordovan, and I think this is on whiskey shell cordovan. It's a little bit more golden, slightly darker than the natural shell. And on the inside, we've got that same color combination for the card holders. Here's a variation again on the Tony the Ant. This is the tall Tony the Ant, and the variation is that the bill slot in the exterior extends all the way to the top, so there's no exterior thumb notch like on the normal Tony the Ant. This is black shell cordovan with a combination on the interior. So we've got black shell on the right and then reverse black shell cordovan on the left. I really like this idea because as this wallet is worn, the shell will rub against the reverse shell, which tends to scratch less than when shell rubs against itself. So I prefer this combination for an interior of a wallet. Here's another blue shell cordovan wallet. This is the Bugs Moran in our traditional card layout on the inside. This is blue everywhere. Blue shell, blue stitching, blue hand stained edges, and then blue on the interior. Up next is a Frank the Enforcer in a really clean piece of black shell cordovan. We do sell normal Frank the Enforcers. They're just like this wallet. And the difference here is we have an additional card slot on the back. So this is what we call the 5-slot Frank the Enforcer. And we have a couple capones to look at. Let's look at a couple Dublin here. There's two of identical wallets. Maybe they're going to the same customer, I'm not actually sure, but you'll notice again, like the black Dublin Herbie we looked at earlier, incredible figuring and character in the black Dublin. And for me, the black Dublin is just the best black leather around. Here's a look at the other color Capone money clip, all reverse black shell cordovan. And you might be asking, how is that black shell? Well, the reverse side of the black cordovan is this greenish shade. It looks like the customer has requested to have 2 ink stamps cut on this one. It turned out really great. But wait, there's plenty more to look at. Another Dublin piece. This time is on the color 8. So color 8 Dublin sitting on top of black Dublin. You might be able to see the difference in color here, but it is subtle. The color 8 Dublin is the color of the color 8 shell cordovan, but translated over to steer hide. You'll see that the color depth on the Dublin is a little bit different. It has more of like a bursty sort of pull-up effect on it, which is different than the shell cordovan. And on the interior of this one, we got the same color combination with the black and color 8 Dublin. Up next is a Bugs Moran in English tan Dublin, and this one has the vertical card slots on the right side of the interior with the traditional card slots on the left. I like this combo a lot. Here's another tall Tony the Ant with the bill slot extended all the way to the top. We've got natural shell cordovan on the outside of this one with reverse on the inside. And it looks like this reverse piece in the center here, this is actually color 8 shell cordovan. And two more notable things about this wallet. We have the Horween measuring machine stamped. You can see it says Horween USA and then 1.4 square feet. That's how large the area of that shell was. The other thing to note is the gold foil baby Ashland stamp on the bottom right. Here's another Tony the Ant. It's great to see some Tony the Ants in the made to order video today. Natural shell cordovan on the outside of this one. On the interior, we have vertical card slots. Here's a Bugs Moran with black shell cordovan on the outside and natural waxed and burnished edge. Very nicely done, team. On the interior here, we've got what looks to be, I think this is cigar shell also. Sometimes in this light, it's hard for me to tell, but this looks like cigar shell cordovan. The big difference between cigar shell and color 8 shell is the color 8 has like a little bit more red and burgundy to it. Here's a really cool piece of inverted shell cordovan, and this is inverted black shell cordovan. I'll give this one a spin because I noticed the color sort of pops at certain angles on the inverted shell. Really cool piece here. We also have a hand-stained black edge. On the interior, we have more inverted black shell cordovan with gold foil stamps. Here's another one of our brand new Joe Batters. On the outside here, I think this is garnet shell cordovan, the most red color of shell cordovan that Horween makes. We have a contrasting cream color stitching. And on the inside, we have reverse color 8 shell cordovan with that Horween ink stamp cut perfectly into the center. Up next is a Johnny the Fox in 100% amaretto shell cordovan, and this one is also hand stitched. So this is an incredible wallet. It's really tough for us to get the thin pieces of shell cordovan that are required to make the interiors of the Johnny the Fox. So when we get a rare shell cordovan color like amaretto, and we're able to find pieces that are thin enough for a Johnny the Fox interior, it's a totally special day. So I'm really glad to see this one. And of course, it's also very clean looking without any stamps on the inside. And last but not least, we have another Bugs brand. This time is whiskey shell cordovan. It's a good chance to show you the difference between the whiskey shell cordovan and the natural shell cordovan. Although this is raw natural, you can really see the whiskey here has much more of that golden sort of yellowy tone to it. And it's definitely much darker than the natural shell. Here's the difference on the inside. We've got vertical card slots with reverse color 8 shell cordovan. And I love how this epic die splatter has sort of swooshed from the bottom left up to the top right. Really nice flow on this piece. Incredible pieces from all of our customers with these custom creations. If you guys want to order a special custom creation, there is a 10% upcharge for it. But if you want the details about made to order, just send over an email to info@ashlandleather.com. Let us know what your dream wallet is. And if we have the leather and the pattern for it, we'll make it for you. Matt can give you a quote. And again, if we have all that stuff, it's about 4 to 6 weeks. So thanks so much for checking out the video today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.